JHS Pedals recently told me that they spent 8 years developing a new and totally original distortion pedal. Well, today they have unleashed that pedal upon the world, and it sounds like this. Alright guys, hope you're doing great out there today. If this is your first time here at my channel, my name is Kyle and welcome to Belligerent Amateur Studios. My name is Kyle and welcome to Belligerent Studios. What I do here is I take all sorts of awesome high gain related guitar equipment, I record it with a simple setup, and I give you the unprocessed audio on your end. So if you're into East End or thrash riffs, drop C hardcore riffs, and dudes whose shorts are way too short, you're in the right place. Consider hitting the like button and subscribing on your way out so you don't miss any more of my stuff. Thanks! I'm talking about my videos, not my stuff. Thanks! Alright guys, so as you heard in the intro of this video, we are checking out a brand new distortion pedal from the folks over at JHS. This pedal just randomly showed up on my doorstep one day, and I'm not like making that up or saying that or embellishing this for the story for the video. This pedal literally appeared on my doorstep. And I had no idea what it was. So when I opened it up, found it was a pedal from JHS, I immediately got excited, and when I got into the box, I got even more excited because I found out that this pedal, the Hard Driver, is a completely new distortion pedal circuit that took JHS 8 years to develop. Now, you know, if any company is taking 8 years to develop anything in the guitar industry, they are either complete morons or they are putting as much into the product as they possibly can before putting it out into the public. So you know that you are getting somebody's blood, sweat, and tears and 8 years of hard work baked into the product. And that's what we have here. Before we get too far into the video, this is a sponsored video. I am being paid to share this pedal with you guys here on the channel, so feel free to take everything that I have to say with a massive grain of salt. You're more than fair to do so. But I'm gonna give you my honest thoughts and opinions, as I always do, so please keep that in mind. So yeah, when JHS set out to put another distortion pedal on the market, they didn't want to just take an existing circuit and tweak it a little bit and shove it down your throat and walk away with your wallet. They wanted to create something that was truly original, something that wasn't based on any other particular circuit, and they put a massive amount of time and effort into doing that. And honestly, in my personal opinion, in the few minutes that I have spent with this pedal, I can already tell you they did a fantastic job. The Hard Driver dials in intuitively. It sounds familiar enough that you're going to be able to get the tones that you want out of it in most cases, but it's not too unfamiliar that you're just sitting there scratching your head going, why did anybody ever develop a pedal that sounds like this? So real quick, let's go over the features, let's go over the controls, and then we are going to try this with a few different guitars. Right now we are running it into the power effects, the power effects section? Can you believe people pay me to do this? We are running into the effects loop of the PV6505 Plus to give the pedal an all-tube power amp, going into my Mesa 412 1999 traditional cab with a stock vintage 30. We also have an SM57. On that V30, there will be no post-processing on any of this audio, but just to give you guys the full picture of what this pedal is capable of in different scenarios, we're gonna run it into the clean channel of the Origin 50 by Marshall here, and then we're gonna gonna run it into a small solid state power amp from our friends over at Quilter. So we're gonna give you guys a few different looks at this pedal. I'm also gonna try it with some passive pickups, and we're also gonna try it with a baritone tuned down to drop butthole. So on this pedal here, as you can see, very, very simple. There are no gimmicks, there are no extra jacks or anything like that. It's about as simple as a distortion pedal will come these days. We've got a 3-band EQ, a bass, middle, treble. This has the Baxandall tone stack with the bass and treble controls being active, but on top of the middle control also being active, we have a frequency shift for the mid right here, where we can dial it up to get more upper mids that it is either cutting or boosting, or dial it down so that it is affecting the lower mids. Now again, bass, middle, treble, those are all active. They are all cut and boost. So at noon, they are basically at 0, but you pull it down, it's cutting, you push it above noon, and it's gonna boost said frequencies. So there is going to be a lot of room to dial in your tone because those controls do make a big difference. Moving over to the drive on this pedal is cascading, much like a tube amp, like a 6505 Plus or a Soldano SLO, or you name it. The more you turn that drive up, the more it's going to cascade and create more gain and more saturation, which will slightly alter the voicing of the pedal, much like it does on a tube amp. And then finally over here, we've just got a simple volume control. So real quick, let's go ahead, let's revisit the tone that we have with my Schecter SLS E1 Elite here with the Fishman ceramic modern pickup in the bridge. I was actually boosting this with a Boss SD1, and it sounds like this. So as you guys can see, it takes an overdrive great because we're not getting any weird errant feedback type noises like you can get from running a boost into a solid state distortion pedal. Let's go ahead, let's kick off the overdrive though so you guys can hear how it sounds going straight in. So as you can see, that mellowed things out a little bit. It added some bass. What I really want to do is push those mids and that treble just a tad more and add a little bit more gain, and it's gonna sound very nice. So real quick, just to give you an idea of how sensitive the EQ is, let's roll through the let's roll through the EQ controls. Alright, so as you guys can see, there's just a massive amount of range in that bass and treble EQ, so you really got a lot of flexibility regarding how you want to EQ the pedal. Now this is where things get a little bit more interesting because we've got that active middle control, but we also have a mid frequency dial. So I'm going to leave the mids where they're at, and then I'm going to adjust the mid frequency dial. The mids being bumped up like this means they are being boosted by quite a bit. So whatever frequency this control is selecting is going to be boosted, and you're going to hear that. And now on the flip side of things, if we were to pull this below noon and get it to the point where it's actually cutting frequencies, it's gonna cut whatever bass frequency or whatever mid frequency is selected by this control. So as you can see, that just gives so much range to dial things in. So you could take this thing from a super bright, modern, cutting, high gain tone all the way to like a vintage 80s, you know, Master of Puppets Metallica type tone. Let's try a guitar that has much lower output passive pickups. All right guys, I have my PRS SE McCarty 594. I have touched nothing on the pedal. All right, so as you can see, massively responds to different pickups. It is way less saturated, so let's go ahead, let's boost up that gain, or the drive. I'm sorry, JHS. All right, so if we're pushing the drive on this pedal super hard, much like a tube amp, it gets fat, it gets boxy. I don't personally love it, but some of you might. Kind of has that rectifier thing going on a little bit. Let's pull the drive back and let's again hit it with an overdrive. All right, so with the overdrive, definitely much more to my liking. Pulls some of the boxiness out. It gives it a little bit more aggression, a little bit more cut without having that really kind of compressed and squashed sound. Yeah, man, it sounds cool. I liked it better with the active pickups, full honesty, but now let's try it with a guitar that's tuned very low. All right guys, so I have my Balaguer Espada baritone here. This is a 27-inch baritone with a Hypernova pickup in it, which is a modern ceramic voiced pickup. It's voiced like ceramic. So let's go ahead, let's dial this baby in for a really low tuned tone. Let's go ahead, let's kick on the Boss SD1, and let's hear how it sounds with an overdrive. All right, that sounds really good in my personal opinion. The boxiness, again, hit it with an overdrive, it takes out some of those low mids. So we have been putting this solely through the power section of the 6505 Plus. Let's move it over to the Marshall and then over to the Quilter. Check out a tone on each of these things before we wrap up this video so you guys can see how it sounds in different applications. All right guys, so we now have the pedal going directly into the front of the Marshall Origin 50. This is an all-tube amplifier that functions very much like a pedal platform. We have the pedal dialed as you see here on your screen, and I am going straight in. There is no overdrive. We're back on the Fishman Modern loaded Schecter E1 SLS Elite, and it sounds like this. So I think that actually sounds pretty sick. The way that I dialed the pedal in is I removed a lot of those low mids that I didn't like because we have the gain boosted quite a bit to get enough saturation going straight into the pedal. That was straight into the pedal. Let's try it now with an overdrive so we can pull that gain back. Alright, that actually sounded really, really good with the overdrive. I'm a big fan of that. And remember guys, this is just one tone. We don't have enough time to explore a whole bunch of stuff on each platform, but just a few minutes dialing that in and I thought that that was a really, really sick sounding tone. So let's move it into the tone block. All right guys, last but not least, we're going into the effects return of the Quilter tone block. So it's essentially just a completely neutral sounding solid state power amplifier. So all the EQ and everything that you're hearing is from the pedal and nothing else. And we've got ourselves a little death metal tone going on. Alright guys, that is gonna do it for me today on the JHS Hard Driver, all new original design distortion pedal. What did you guys think about this thing? Because I gave you plenty of my own thoughts. Really curious to hear what you guys have to say about this thing, so make sure to leave it down below in the comments. Do you think this is a pedal that is adding something new and cool to the market? Is this something you want to put on your pedal board and riff some nasty riffs? Or is it something you're not interested in at all? Genuinely curious, so let me know down below in the comments and I'll meet you down there to chat about it. If you guys would like to pick one of these pedals up, I will make sure to put an affiliate link down below to Sweetwater so you guys can grab that. And also, regarding the price, I have no idea how much this pedal costs because nobody at the company told me. So knowing JHS, I'm gonna assume it's somewhere in the $200 price range. I would imagine it wouldn't be more than plus or minus $50 from that $200 price. So if you guys, again, would like to pick it up, affiliate links down below. Those really help the channel. I had a lot of fun doing this. I hope you guys had a lot of fun watching. Thanks again to JHS for sponsoring their very first video here on the channel, actually. Hope to do it again sometime. I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Thank you so much for watching again. Kyle here again. I'm gonna say again a few more times again. We'll see you next time. Again.
You know what this wall is missing? Another amp. There we go.